and my husband is 32 in May. And we were both workers. We did volunteer work with street people. And I had taken psychology and crisis intervention, and we were dealing with alcoholic problems and drug problems. We belonged to the, I belong to Al-Anon, and my husband belongs to the Latinos Cruise Society, which deals with these problems too.
Okay, I got all that. You work together, but, I mean, it's one thing working with a younger man, but marrying a younger man like this, why?
Well, because her father was gone, and her father her father was, I didn't like her father as well as I like my present husband. There you go.
Oh, wait, and Michelle, what is that? How does that make you feel, Michelle?
Well, you know, what's the point?
What?
My father at least was her age. I mean, you know, there was compatibility there, or they never would have got together.
Does she have to stay within her own age? I mean, what would have been the perfect age for you?
You know, I don't want a stereotyped mother who sits at home and crochets on the couch. That's not what I'm asking. Just once in a while for her to be a little bit her own age, a little normal, a little human, and not always making a scene or embarrassing or doing something really eccentric all the time. I mean, constant. It never quits.
I see this leather.
Jamie's got his own gripes. Don't ever think he doesn't. He tells me things about being with her, too. I said,
Okay.
Well, what specifically is the gripe other than this age? Elizabeth Taylor has married a man half her age.
Go for it.
The world is changing.
That's right. Yes, sir.
This is for Kay. Have you always been into purple? And when your daughter was born, were you into purple, and were you as wild then?
When I was a little girl, there was a lady that worked at the post office in Jordan, Montana, and I thought she was beautiful because she had purple hair. And when they put this stuff in spray cans, man, they turned me loose.
What? I know those earrings didn't come out of a spray can. Where'd you get the earrings at?
Oh, hey, I got these at Middle Earth in Berlin, New Hampshire, and they're the only two pair, I swear, in the world. I got a gold pair at home, too.
All right. Yes, sir.
I like purple just as much as the next person, but the hair got to go.
Wait a minute, you never tried it. Get him back. I'm going to send him back. We'll get some...
Jackie's diaper bag. Do the fluorescent pink.
Okay, we'll send him back. You go backstage. We're going to check you out with little pink hair for just a second. Just to see what it's like. Just to see what it's like. What you think? You can't get up. You can't get up and complain about a woman's hair and not know what it feels like, right? Yes, sir.
I got to ask these two, how's the loving? You know.
Wait, how's the loving?
Does the leather go beyond here, you know, into the bedroom? Or?
Ooh.
No. Sound like a normal people in bed, yeah.
Like normal people in bed?
Like normal people in bed.
I mean, what do you think about Michelle and her complaints about you?
I think about Michelle, I mean, like I said before, I mean, I used to talk to her before. It's not her damn business, you know. If I love her mother, I really love her, that's it. And I'm stay away from other people that can keep talking and talking. They don't even have their own lover. I mean.
Well, now, I understand when you met her, though, you thought that she was 42 years old. Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Ann told you she was in her 40s and you believed her?
No.
No?
Yeah.
So how old did you think she was when you first started going out with her?
Excuse me?
How old did you think she was when you first started going out with her?
Oh, what, around something, 47 or 50, something like that.
Something like that, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Is that Colleen, the lady with the leather?
Yeah, no, that's Ann.
That's Ann.
Right.
She looks good with the leather jacket.
Okay.
If she's happy and he's happy, they should just stay together.
All right, well, there you go. What's up?
Yeah. I think the two daughters here are behaving a bit selfishly. I mean, this woman's an elderly woman. I mean, thank God she doesn't have like a debilitating, debilitating situation. Thank God she's alive. And if she wants to live her lifestyle and she's found happiness with this gentleman, then all the power to him.
Uh-oh. Well, Michelle, you're getting a little beat up here, and I want you to defend yourself. I know she does some other things that
I'm used to getting beat up. I go places and they say, yeah, well, so what? Well, it's not their mother. I mean, I think this woman's hysterical.
Well,
but I don't, she's not my mother.
But you're glad she's not your mother?
That's right, I'm glad she's not my mother. I mean, I thought I had it
my age
bad.
and younger. She gets better looking men sometimes than I do.
Yeah.
So is that...
And younger men, too.
Wait, is that the problem, though?
Oh, well, sometimes that could be the problem. I mean, she goes out with guys younger than me, you know?
Really?
They last longer, too.
Well, you've heard it. You've heard it from the...
I just wanted to ask Ann's daughter, how old are you, and are you married?
I'm 48, I'm divorced.
Oh, your mother looks great. I love her.
I don't deny she looks great. I don't deny she looks great. And I'm not trying to make her life unhappy because she thinks she's found what's happy. I am concerned about her, I really am. Come on, she's 68 years old. In 7 years and 8 years, is he still going to be around? He's going to be 38 years old. He's going to be a young man. And where's she going to be, in a nursing home?
She could be run over by a streetcar.
She might be running around looking for a 25-year-old.
Man, all my life, she's embarrassed me. I can remember way back, even when I was 10 years old, 11 years old. My grandfather and grandmother raised me basically because she was out busy doing her own thing. But as I was raised, he died. He had a funeral. We had a memorial service. She comes to the memorial service in her black leather pants, black leather boots with chains on it, black silk blouse with 20 chains. She looked like a cross between Mrs. T and a Harley-Davidson queen. She's got rings all over, a ring that's attached to a bracelet thing. And she brings a camera. And she runs around the memorial service taking pictures of all of my friends, all the people that are at this memorial service with this camera. And
It's a festive occasion sometimes. People want to be remembered not in sorrow. They want to be remembered up and happy.
Yeah, right.
My mom will show up at the beach with this wetsuit on, all ready to go surfing.
That's true.
And it takes her longer to put this wetsuit on than she goes into the water.
Wait, Colleen, you surf?
Yeah, I boogie board. I've been boogie boarding for years. I know I don't look.
About it. Is it more of a problem the fact of the way they dress and act, or are you really kind of just a little bit irritated that
Want
they
to fight
keep...
over this answer?
I'm a little jealous that she gets young men, but I mean, I don't care if she dates younger men if that's what she wants to do, but it'd be nice if she could maybe just tone down the hair a little bit, or maybe wear just her black leather instead of her purple leather would be nice.
Mine hasn't always dated younger men. I want you to know when she was 48, she tried to marry a guy that was 78, only she found out he was still married, and so she couldn't get married to him. I mean, this has gone on forever, but usually she's gone up the other end of the scale rather than down the other end of the scale.
I think I'm looking really good.
My mother thinks she
To a motorcycle club or anything?
We have a motorcycle club that we started up in New Hampshire, and it's called Jugs, Just Us Girls, and it's a bunch of us women who ride together so we don't have to ride alone.
You know what, I think we got to go to break, but I'd like to see what Raymond looks like. Is Raymond looking good back there with Mama Kay? Let's see him. You're a good man. What's that? Oh, no, no. We'll be back right after this. We've been talking about kids that are embarrassed by their mothers. Now, Jason, what else does your mother do? Now, she checks out the guys, and she thinks all the guys are checking her out. She dresses a little bit odd every now and then. She's a little bit loud. Is that right?
She talks constantly. She won't stop. She goes to restaurants. Also, the things she does in a restaurant, when you go to order your food, she'll order her food. After you start ordering in the middle of ordering your food with the waiter or something like that, she'll change her order. She'll say, "Oh, I'll have whatever he's having now. I want a decaf, and let me have that salad dressing on the side." And then by the time the waiter leaves, he doesn't know what's going on. Nobody's food comes out right because she's confused him so badly.
Okay, now I'm noticing something going on with the two of you. Now, Carlin seems to, every now and then, it's almost like she's got a hand going up the middle of your back, going, tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. I mean, do you push him to have his little battles with his body?
No, he's very, very nervous today. So he had me write a list, and he said, now, if I forget to say something, tell me to say
a list of all the things. Can you believe that?
I have a much better memory than he has.
But now, he was so embarrassed about his parents that he didn't even take you by to meet them for, what, 8 months?
Yeah, it was about 8 months. And actually, I met his father before I met his mother. I don't know if well, I might as well tell it now. His father, I was picking him up.
I used to have her come, and when she came by my house to say she was going to pick me up, I'd say, I'll meet you outside. One time she said, I have to use the restroom.
I have to use the restroom. And
so
he's
no,
like,
we'll go down the street and use the restroom.
And I said, no, I really need to use the restroom. And his mother wasn't there at the time. So I walk in. His dad is sitting there in his lazy boy chair, in his underwear, eating popcorn. And the popcorn is like
they didn't expect. They walked in.
Well, he didn't expect you coming in. It's his house.
Right.
It's
But
his
that's the only time I've seen him.
I know, well, you know, that seems to be another complaint, because it's not just Mom that you have a problem with, it's Dad. And Mom, why don't you just introduce Dad for
Well,
us?
I'll tell you, you really think that I'm Dad. You know, I really am not. And I'm not loud either. I'm just not a plan for you. And we thought this should be memorable for you. I mean, if you're going to be embarrassed, why not be really?
And please say hello to Jason's dad, Jack. Jack, who's here. Now, Jason, I understand that you were telling us a story about Jack. Jack, you sunbathed on the roof of your house in the nude, right?
Sounds like a good idea to me.
That's right. And you were always around the house in the nude.
I seen him. I spied on him.
I do have a suntan line. I do wear pants.
Don't show him.
I do. I do.
This is how he normally dresses.
This is his normal
attire. All my friends and everybody I've ever known, this is how they met my dad.
Wait, but the towel's a little bit nicer. You live in
California, don't you?
That's right, and it's hot there.
So why put more clothes on?
California, and it's hot, and the weather's warm. But I understand one night you went in to turn off the television while your daughter-in-law to be, were you married then?
We weren't married. No, we weren't. I don't think we were married at the time. No.
Daughter-in-law to be was spending the night over the house. Television was on. You walked in to cut off the television. How?
Gee, did
he
I do
doesn't
that?
remember. I don't think.
No, I don't remember.
How did you do it, Carla?
Okay, he was asleep, and I had fallen asleep, but I'm a real light sleeper, so I heard the door open, and there's Jack turning the television off. I guess he thought we fell asleep with the TV on, and he was in the buff.
Completely naked.
In the buff. And I was so embarrassed. I didn't tell Jason for a while. I just went back to sleep. And then I told Jason a couple months later, and he said, just shoot his dad out. Don't walk in. You're embarrassing.
He chews him out a
this
lot.
was a long time ago.
I think you should always accept your mothers how they are, because they'll accept you how you were. I mean, your mother's raised you, and if you were like she was.
I know that you're embarrassed now, but growing up, weren't your friends wanting to come over your house and hang out with your parents? Weren't they like a lot of fun
to see my
hang out
mother?
with?
They would see her and talk to her, and then they would say, oh, hi, Jackie, how you doing? But they came to see her because she was always a lot of fun and outspoken and...
My kids take her with when they go places to liven up the party. And I said, well, you never invited me to your birthday party. And she said, well, we wanted somebody that was going to be funny and fun. So they took her with her to karaoke, and she sings Minnie the Moocher. And all these people are at this karaoke place, and they're all seriously trying out to win. And she gets to the part, down, drops on her knees, holy. And so there's 3 other people backstage with my daughters, and they're talking, and they said, well, we're all leaving or whatever. And she, why aren't you staying to see who wins? Who wins? She's going to win. She's the funniest. Why, your grandma, she is so funny. But it's not an act with her. I mean, they were acting.
That's right.
Yeah. Let us sing Minnie the Moocher for you.
Wait, okay, all right. And let me hear a little bit of that Minnie the Moocher.
I'm really not in voice tonight, but this is what all the fuss is about. When I showed up at the funeral, I showed up in a gray silk suit, slack suit, with silver chains that goes with gray. When I arrived late, I had no car, so I arrived late, and when I arrived, the whole thing was over with. They had some minister there, and I didn't even know he was a minister because he just had a suit like you. And I heard the tail end of what he was saying, and all these people are sitting around showing a picture of Dad. And I thought, well, this is funny, the funeral's all over, and nobody come to get me. I lived a long ways away from them.
So sing Minnie the Moocher for him.
So when I went to the karaoke club with my granddaughters and them, they were offering a prize to the person in the comedy club St. Paul, Gaultier Plaza.
Well, she's plugging herself now. Look at this.
I got up. I said, I'll win the prize for you, and I did.
Well, let's hear it. Let's see how you won it.
I'm not in voice now, but
That's
I'll
all right.
try the best. This is an old Cab Calloway song, Long Path. I don't think anybody here this age remembers. But he was a big star. And this is what he used to sing. Folks, now here's a story about Minnie the Moocher. She was a red-hot true She was the roughest and the toughest trail, but Minnie had a heart as big as a whale. Now there's a sample of it.
That's it, yes. Well, we didn't get to meet our psychologist, Karen Stark, but as soon as we come back, we'll talk to her and let her fill in some of the pieces that these families need to have to make sure they can get along. We'll be back right after this. Is a psychologist, Karen Stark. You know what's going on here. Why don't you tell us, what's the problem with these families?
Well, actually, I think they're having a lot more fun than they're saying, but parents are not a reflection of their children. So that if Jackie and Michelle and Jason and Carlin would see their parents as not being them, and they wouldn't be over-identified, they could just enjoy who they are. Just like you don't want your parents to tell you anything about you, you have to let them be who they are. I think we all get a little bit embarrassed, Nantel, you know, about our parents.
Wait, and you're the psychologist. Have you ever been embarrassed by your parents?
Yeah, I was.
Like, what did your parents do to embarrass you? You had to give yourself, you sat in the mirror going like this, don't be embarrassed because it's okay. I mean, what do you...
That's really true, because after a certain age, what I wind up saying to myself is, wait a second, I'm an adult, my mother is an adult, it doesn't matter anymore.
So, now what do you say
She's not me. If somebody meets my mother, and my mother doesn't have purple hair, but if she did, I wouldn't think that they'd then say, well, I must have purple hair.
Yeah, we have, my dad is as young as my oldest daughter, okay? Now, that's got to be embarrassing to somebody. There isn't anybody here that'd be embarrassed by that. We're in the room and they're waiting, and this woman's, you said it. She said to me something about, where's your mother? To him, where's your mother? I mean, people assume that. Come on. Wouldn't you assume it?
Well, you would, but then again, if my mom was happy and, you know, she got up every morning with a smile on her face, I'd say, more power to you, Mom.
Well, I was just
but my dad's around, so...
I was trying to find out if he was married. I mean, he's dressed in black leather and all that stuff. You know, what the heck?
You were trying to pick him up.
I noticed that before.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I would like to say I like her judgment and color.
We've been talking about parents who embarrass their kids, and you had a question.
No, I had a comment.
Comment.
My mother acts just like that, and I love my mother to death. I hope my mother never changes, and I wish y'all would hope the same thing. Don't never let your mother change. Let her be what she want to be.
That's right. Well, there you go. Done. Yes, ma'am.
Hi. Hi, Ann. I have a question for you. It's got to be more than your obvious fantastic personality that helped you snag the 32-year-old. And I know I'm going to be your age one day, and I want to know, how can I snag me a 32-year-old then?
Yeah, and
it's got to be more than that.
What did you do? What did you do to kind of pull this man in and get him in your grasp?
I don't ever, I'll tell you, all my life, I've had all kinds of boyfriends. And young men, because I'm only 5 feet, young men were always attracted to me when I dressed up. I didn't always wear leathers, you know. If I'd wear a nice dress, I'd go out someplace. Young men would come over and date me. They always thought I was more their age. I mean, I would be 20, 30 years older than them. They always wanted me. Plus, old men always wanted me. And it's not my looks. You can see I'm not a great beauty. But it was my personality, and I was a lot of fun, and would always have a lot of fun when we go out, and I attract people.
That must be it, just being a lot of fun, right?
My husband, he and I did volunteer work in the same place.
You're never going to get her shut up, you know.
Okay, what? Hang on a second. And that's how you got together. Wait a minute, let me get this question. Yes, ma'am.
To the parents, God bless you. I hope I'm as alive and spunky as you guys at your age.
Thank
All right, all right. Well, you know what? I think it's time to see if Jason can embarrass himself a little bit. Jason, let me hear a little something here. Let's see a little bit of this, your best Elvis. Stand up.
You got to make the move.
I got to get ready for my man.
Uh-oh. Get ready for him. Do your whole thing.
My baby left me. I need a place. I live lonely streets. Heartbreak.
Now, Jack. No, but now, see, here's the point. You got embarrassed when your mom was saying, I saw you turning red when she was saying she has a beautiful voice. Yeah. You shouldn't get so embarrassed. That's your mother.
It's different when it's your parent, though.
Well, okay, maybe it is, but I'll tell you what.
He just wanted to get attention.
That's it.
That's it.
Because that voice is so nice, why don't you just take...
Old Sophie Tucker.
I don't know who Sophie Tucker is, but do it.
It's really, Sophie was big and fat and like from the 20s. My dad taught me this song.
Let me hear a little bit of it. I want to thank all of our guests while she's going out. Go on.
Some of these days, you're gonna miss me, honey. Some of these days, you're gonna feel so lonely.
And a lot of these days, you can join us on the Montel.